interested in a little more discussion. Senator Ricketts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We talked a little bit about this or touched upon this, but Taiwan's energy security is one of its biggest liabilities, and of course Beijing knows that. Tabletop exercise that Senator Coons and I hosted earlier this year simulated an energy quarantine and underscored this sobering reality. An energy squeeze doesn't require a blockade or even a shot fired. Targeted coercion alone could trigger a crisis long before the military action even happens. That's why strengthening Taiwan's resilience is central to deterrence. Senator Coons and I introduced the Taiwan Energy Security and Anti-Embargo Act to help counter this. This common sense legislation would expand U.S. LNG exports to Taiwan, support its energy infrastructure, and ensure adequate flows of energy shipments to Taiwan in a contingency. Dr. Doshi, you noted Taiwan's energy insecurity. What are some of the fastest steps both the U.S. and Taiwan can take right now to reduce that exposure to energy quarantine?
Well, thank you, Senator Ricketts, for your leadership on this issue with Senator Coons. I was grateful to participate in that tabletop with you, and I'm grateful for your legislation, which I think goes a long way to addressing this problem. There's one item I would add. It's perhaps beyond the scope of this committee, but I think it's important for us to consider, which is the question of insurance. There is a real risk that, of course, when there's a conflict or a crisis in the strait, even if there's not a shot fired, insurance rates will skyrocket for those LNG tankers carrying energy to Taiwan. We have a mechanism in the United States to address that problem because we thought about it over 100 years ago, in a sense. And that mechanism is, again, maritime insurance backstopped by the federal government, but it only applies to U.S. flagged vessels and U.S. carriers. We can, of course, modify the statute to allow that insurance to apply to foreign flagged vessels en route to Taiwan carrying LNG. And should we do that, we'd have a way of stabilizing the insurance market and ensuring energy keeps flowing. So that's a very simple fix that would have enormous impact right away. The other elements that matter are, of course, coordinating with Taiwan on finding other suppliers of energy, in addition to the United States, working with countries like Qatar that supply LNG to Taiwan to ensure consistent supply. And then finally, we have to help Taiwan find a way back to nuclear. I think it's important for Congress to push for that. I'm not sure that the decision to denuclearize was that wise. It has created this energy vulnerability in Taiwan, and it is possible to reverse it, as given all the innovation in our country in this area, including with small modular reactors.
Yeah, and on that last point, I agree with you 100% with regard to this is something that they should absolutely be taking up to get their nuclear power plant restarted again as they're in the process of shutting it down. That would help. And of course, our act contemplates as well the insurance issue as well. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Coons.
Thank you.